CIG TV News Brief, Community News and Weather Forecast. I'm Donna Bush. Just hours ago, Premier the Honourable Alden McLaughlin announced important next steps for the Cayman Islands as it relates to COVID-19 or the coronavirus.
We've discussed things like food security, the certainty that we will have adequate fuel should other places around us that supply these things close down. And over the course of the next couple of press briefings, I plan to advise the country in more detail where we stand with respect to those various matters. But today, the principal subject that I want to talk about is the decision just taken by the Cabinet to close the Owen Roberts International Airport and the Charles Colonel International Airport for international passenger flights for a temporary period of 3 weeks, beginning on Sunday, the 22nd of March, 2020, at 11:59 p.m. until Sunday, the 12th of April, 2020, at 11:59 p.m. Obviously, this time period will continue to be reviewed as this crisis and the nature of this crisis continues to evolve. For all destinations, with the exception of the United Kingdom, inbound flights from Thursday, the 19th of March, will operate for returning residents only. Outbound flights will operate as usual through Sunday, the 22nd of March. Flights emanating from the United Kingdom will operate as normal through Sunday, the 22nd of March. With immediate effect, any person arriving in the Cayman Islands will be required to isolate for a period of 14 days. Flights to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman will be restricted to essential needs and personnel and for residential travel only. Domestic flights between Owen Roberts International Airport and the Charles Colonel Airport and the Edward Borden Airfield in Little Cayman will continue. Cargo flights into the three airports will also continue. The airport will also remain open for any emergency flights, medevac, and courier and cargo services. The government has not taken this decision lightly, but we believe that it is in the best interests of the people of these islands that we do so. There will be some, no doubt, that will wonder why we have announced it now, but it doesn't take effect until Thursday. But we really do not want to have the sort of scenes that I think all of us would have seen on television that occurred at Chicago O'Hare Airport in the last few days, where thousands of people are trying to get, in that case, to get into the country. In this case, it would be to get out of the country. We want an orderly evacuation to occur and to give all persons who are here who wish to leave the opportunity to do so.
His Excellency Governor Martin Roper also had this to say at the press briefing.
I also want to just say that we have Public Health England here with us, a three-person team. We've met them this morning. They're helping us and supporting us on testing, and that's a really big advantage for Cayman, that as of today we have the capacity and ability to test for COVID-19 on our islands, the only overseas territory that can do that. I'm sure Dr. Lee will say more on it. They're also helping us with the difficult situation at Health City to make sure we can get Health City back up and functioning as soon as possible.
And you can watch today's entire press briefing here on CIG television and on our YouTube channel tonight starting at 8 o'clock. Again, local testing can be done with results in 24 to 48 hours. That announcement came today as well. The reduction in wait time for results will help the Cayman Islands health professionals treat patients much quicker. Health officials say the ability for local testing is significant as it further enhances the capabilities of the HSA to not only detect COVID-19 in real time, but also provide timely intervention in the management of patients and enhances our public health surveillance, and will also expedite response capabilities.
As far as the position that we're in at the moment is concerned, you may have heard the phrase delay, contain and mitigate. We are through the delay phase because we now have COVID on the island, and so we're in the contain phase. But where we are between contain and mitigate is what we're trying to identify at the moment, and the only way we'll do that is with science and with figures. So we await the results, and we await to see the patterns of results in order that will drive our decision-making process going forward. The reason that will take us from contain to mitigate is when we have evidence of sustained community transmission of COVID in the community. And the longer that we can stay in the contain phase, which means isolating contacts, the more time it will have and the better we'll be able to face the threat.
At today's press briefing, Minister for Health, the Honourable Dwayne Seymour, reminded persons about isolation if you're coming back to the Cayman Islands, as well as for those who are a suspected case.
Also, in terms of self-isolation or isolation in itself, we're asking people to stay at home, remain in your home except for medical supplies or care. Do not go to work, school, or public areas. Do not use buses or public transport or taxis. Separate yourself from other people in your home. Stay in a ventilated room with a window to outside that can be open, separate from everyone else. Call ahead before going to the doctor. Wear a face mask if in isolation. When in the room with others visiting, also visiting the doctor. Avoid sharing household items. Do not share dishes, glasses, cups, eating utensils, towels, or beddings. All waste that has been in contact with the individual. Tissues, masks should be tied in a plastic bag, and do not put it out until the person is cleared and does not have COVID-19. And always remember to wash your hands often with soap and water.
And of course, public health will only be testing persons with a suspected case of COVID-19 who fit the following criteria of symptoms. If you have flu symptoms and have a travel history to a country that has reported local transmission of COVID-19 disease during the 14 days before the onset of your symptoms, or if you have an acute respiratory illness and have been in contact with a confirmed or probable case of COVID-19 disease during the 14 days before the onset of those symptoms, or has a severe acute respiratory infection and requires hospitalization and no other etiology that fully explains now that clinical presentation. Now, these are the criteria for those who are being tested locally. Meantime, the Health Services Authority is encouraging members of the public who are experiencing flu-like symptoms to contact the flu hotline on 1-800-534-8600, 947-3077, or you can email them at flu@hsa.ky. Now for a check on other community stories making Radio Cayman headlines this Friday. If there's an online option, then use it. That's the message from the Honourable Joseph Hugh, Minister for Commerce, today, as the government continues encouraging residents to self-isolate where possible. Minister Hugh says they're closely monitoring the developments around the spread of the coronavirus, and the main priority of the government and his ministry is the well-being and safety of our people. He tells Radio Cayman, particularly at a time when social distancing is important, the public is urged to make use of the wide range of government services that can be accessed online through the government e-services platform. Now, for a full list of services, you can head online to eservices.gov.ky. And of course, for these and other Radio Cayman stories, you can go online to radiocayman.gov.ky as well. Turning now to a look at today's forecast from the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. Moderate to fresh west winds and moderate to rough seas are expected across the Cayman Islands area in association with the pressure gradient tightening over the Northwest Caribbean. Now, radar images show no showers over the Cayman area currently. Today's high temperature reached 86 degrees Fahrenheit, the low 76. Fair to partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers are expected, while winds are from the east to northeast at 15 to 20 knots. Sea conditions are moderate to rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. Small craft should exercise caution over open water. For more on local weather, you can go online to weather.gov.ky for the latest forecast, and you can download the National Weather Services app. That's CINWS. And that ends today's news brief here on CIG Television. If you missed it, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page or the CIG Television YouTube channel. I'm Donna Bush, inviting you to join us here again tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye for now.